Om Shanti. So, we all came to Baba looking for peace and happiness, right? Whenever we come to Baba and whenever there is a new Raj Yoga session and I ask everybody, why are you here? So they say, we are looking for peace. And then, yes, peace, Baba introduces us to, happiness, Baba introduces us to, and Baba makes us realize that peace is your original quality, happiness is your original quality. Now, today in the Murli, Baba says, you cannot have true peace here. In this world, you cannot have true peace. Now, let me read out the lines and we will understand them as I read out. So, Baba says that, sweet children, your original religion is peace, and true peace is found in the land of peace. What is the land of peace? The soul world. Okay, so true peace is found in the land of peace. Tell everyone, stabilize yourself in your original religion. Now, what does true peace mean? True, anything true means eternal. So when Baba uses this word true, it means eternal. So Baba says, you cannot have eternal peace here. Yes? Can you have eternal peace here? So Baba says, here you can only experience peace when you stabilize yourself in your true religion. That is, you remind yourself that I am a peaceful soul. Only as long as you do that, you will be able to experience peace. But Baba says, you will not be able to stay in that state constantly. Yes, so we are trying, but that state is not always constant. And then Baba says, then again when you become body conscious, you will lose your peace. But Baba says, if you keep trying this, then you earn a considerable, that earning of punya, and then gradually you will move to the land of peace. So Baba will take us home. So Baba says, until that, what you do is, you keep trying, reminding yourself that I am peaceful and I can stay peaceful come what may. So remind yourself of who you are and what your virtue is. And as long as you are able to do that, you will stay peaceful. But then something or the other happens and then that peace is lost. And then you again come back to it by reminding that, okay, we are living in a world of sound and chaos, but I am a soul and let me come back to my resonance. So, you know how this body feels, you know how the world outside feels, you know how the state of affairs outside is feeling, but do you know how you feel? So, when you turn your attention to yourself, you will be able to experience yourself. And as long as you do that, you will be able to experience some peace. And then Baba says, ultimately, when we go home, then we will be able to experience eternal peace. Because in this world, there is no place where there is absolute peace. Yes, because this Murli I had read today, so in the morning at Amrit Vela, I was noticing how much of sound there is even at 4 a.m. Yes, so even at 4 in the morning, you have so many sounds. So, there are religious places from where some or the other sound is there. And then there is a watchman who is, taking his stick and then he's tapping it. So that sound is there. Then there's the sound of birds. There's the sound of dogs. There is so much sound even at 4 a.m. So Baba says, you cannot find a place where there is no sound, or there is absolutely nobody doing something which can disturb you or distract you. So this is a world of sound, and Baba says here there cannot be absolute silence or absolute stillness or absolute peace. So Baba says here, if you want to experience peace, just connect with yourself. Go within and remind yourself, I am a soul and my original religion is peace, and let me experience myself for some time rather than the things outside. So most of the time, you see, even if we are not experiencing anything else outside, we are experiencing the state of our body. For example, if there is pain in the body or there is some discomfort, so your attention is there and it's the body you are experiencing. So Baba says, instead of experiencing the external on the internal, sometimes you just sit in the state of who you are and how it feels like to be you. So that is when you can feel peaceful. So this is one thing that Baba says. Then question today is, what knowledge does only the one Father have, which only you study at this time? So Baba says the knowledge of sin and charity, Pap and Punya. So Baba gives us the knowledge of Pap and Punya. Baba says that you have the knowledge of Pap and Punya at this time when the people of Bharat start to insult the Father, they become sinful souls. Because when you start, do you think that people start to insult God? Do you think that we insult God? What if I told you that you are everywhere and you are like some thin air and that you are causing all the problems in my life? And just look at the conversation. Yes, so if I tell you you are everywhere and you are like thin air and you are causing all the problems in my life, and why are you just sitting not doing anything about anything? And then you live in the lowliest of places, so you don't deserve a good place, so you can be where I cannot be. So you can be everywhere, and even in the dirtiest of places you live. So if I tell you all of this on your face, does it look like a compliment? And we say all this in the praise of God. So Baba says, you don't even know what praise or insult means, and this happens with humans also. These days you try to praise them and then they end up feeling offended because we don't know how to praise probably. So somebody cooks and then you tell them, oh, you could make it so nice. So they say you didn't think I could make it so nice. So, and they feel offended about it. So Baba says, you come from a very egoistic place and you don't try to understand God, you try to define God. And that is when you put your bizarre ideas and you start insulting me. So I am someone to be known and understood, not to be defined. So I am who I am, and you need to know me. You don't need to define me. So Baba says that I will define myself for you. So Baba says when you start insulting Baba, then Baba, who is the ocean of knowledge, who has to give you the knowledge of sin and charity, then you don't ever have access to that knowledge, because you start insulting the source of that knowledge and you start thinking you have to tell about God. God doesn't have to tell you anything. So, instead of looking up to God for knowledge, you are giving the knowledge about God. So, I remember once I had gone to Haridwar and we were in the market, and there are these shops which have shivlings and other stuff made of marble. And then I was in one of the shops and they saw my white sari and they asked me, so what do you do? So I said, we share about souls and God and how this world operates. So they said, we are very happy to meet you. I said, okay. And then said, we are happy to meet you because you are protecting religion. आप धर्म की रक्षा कर रहे हैं. So I said, no, I think it's the other way around. Religion is meant to protect us. So, what we follow and what we do, our practices are meant to protect us by virtue of giving us a good account of punya. So then we had a discussion about it. And so you see, instead of learning from God, we have been fighting about God and fighting about our concept of God and trying to emphasize that my God is better than your God. So all that we have been doing. So Baba says that all that you have been doing is an insult, and Baba says that when you lose contact with me, then you lose contact with the source, and I am the source of everything, of knowledge, purity, peace, love. So you don't know what these virtues are, what powers are, what truth is. And when you forget all of this, then what you end up doing is bad karma. And then Baba says, and when you come in touch with me, then you have access to everything. You have access to the truth, you have access to virtues, to powers, and then when you're powerful enough, you do good karma. So Baba says that when the people of Bharat start to insult the Father, they become sinful souls. When they know the Father and the drama, they become charitable souls. Only at this time do you children study this study. You know that only the one Father is the bestower of salvation for all. Human beings cannot grant salvation, that is liberation in life, to human beings. Now let me tell you these words. So there is this word liberation or salvation, and then there is this word liberation in life. The Hindi is liberation is mukti, and liberation in life is jivan mukti. So when we are talking about going to the soul world, that is liberation or salvation. And when we are talking about going to the golden age, that is jivan mukti or liberation in life. So Baba says nobody can take you to the soul world or to the golden age instead of the Father. Now why? Because to go to the soul world, you have to become soul conscious. You have to detach from the body and become pure. And to go to the golden age, you should be soul conscious, you should be pure, and you should also have divine virtues. Because in the golden age, there is no place for devilish traits. So there is no place for lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So Baba says, I am the one who makes you, makes you qualified enough to go back to the soul world or to the golden age. So Baba says nobody can give you liberation or liberation in life. So now here today in the Murli, Baba is talking about peace and happiness. Now how do we go? So Baba says there are three worlds. The world of peace, which is the soul world. The world of happiness, which is the golden age, and the world of sorrow, which is the current age we are living in. Now Baba says, if you want to go to the world of peace, then you have to be completely detached from the body, because in the soul world there is no body. Okay? Now, if you want to go to the world of happiness, then you should be, you should be detached from the body. Second is, you should have divine virtues, you should be soul conscious, and then you should have the power of purity and love and peace and all other virtues. Now, I will like to simplify this a little. So, just like we understood about peace, that peace cannot be permanent at this time. So you can only experience peace by staying in the awareness that you are a soul. Now, what is happiness? And how do you create happiness in the confluence age? How do you stay happy despite what's happening? So you hear all this stuff about the world falling apart, and there is so much going on. And then how do you stay happy? Because normally it is understood that there are 4 aspects to our happiness. And what are those 4 aspects? The body, the mind, the wealth, and the relationships. So everybody wants a healthy body. Everybody wants a peaceful mind. Everybody wants good wealth. And then they want good relationships to be happy. Now the state of the affairs right now is such that you cannot have these 4 things. Yes, people are generally not having all the 4 at this time. Nobody has all the 4 kinds of resources that you need for happiness. So how do we stay happy right now? By stabilizing ourselves in the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is, Baba has given us a formula for health. What is the formula? Baba says, Swasthiti se swasthya. So the swasthya or the physical health cannot be ensured. But you can stay happy if you are in swasthiti. That is, if you remember you are a happy soul, and a soul is entitled to its thoughts and feelings despite the state of the body, then you can stay happy even when the body is unhealthy. So if you want to stay in a happy state despite physical health issues, then what you have to choose over swasthya is swasthiti. Because you cannot ensure physical health. Even if you do everything right, there could be some disease or the other in the body. So if the body is the foundation, or the physical health of the body is the foundation of your happiness, then your happiness will become very transient. So there is a law which says, if your happiness has a reason, then every reason has a season. And when the reason will end, the season will end and the happiness will also end. So we have to understand that the state of the body cannot be in perfect healthy state all the time. So what we have to do for our happiness is choose swasthiti, or our internal state, over the state of the body. So can you pass an illness without getting disturbed and unhappy about it? How many can do that? Yes, so if you practice, you can. If you practice, you can. Now, how do you practice this? So the more you practice that I am separate from the body, you cannot practice this at the time of the illness. When you have practiced before that I am separate from the body and the body is an instrument, the body may not be fine, but I am all right. And when you have practiced this for very, very long, then it will be possible to sustain this when there is an illness. And then you will be able to deal with swasthya through swasthiti. So Baba says, don't make swasthya the foundation of your happiness, make swasthiti the foundation of your happiness. Now, second thing that Baba tells about the mind. You see, why does the mind feel a tinge of sorrow or, pain or anything? The mind feels what it feels because it comes under the shadow of human behavior. So when you allow the actions of people or the state of matter to cast a shadow on your mind, then you feel disturbed. Now, human beings are who they are, and nature is what it is. And if you understand that if you allow the behavior of humans and how the nature or the 5 elements are behaving to have an influence on your state of mind, then your mind cannot experience the happiness that it can. So for the mind, Baba has given us the law, man mana bhav. That is, connect your mind to me. So always allow Baba's company to color your mind. And Baba says, if you allow my company to color your mind, then your mind will be all right. And if you allow any person, any event, any state of the 5 elements of nature to linger on your mind, then your mind will be shadowed by the quality of those things and you will experience what you need not experience. Okay? So everything is what it is, but it need not be a part of my thoughts and feelings. All right? So that is, so for the peace of mind or for the happiness of the mind, what you do is you practice the mantra man mana bhav. And then for wealth, Baba says, this knowledge is your wealth. So when you have the knowledge, this knowledge will serve you more than your wealth will. This knowledge will come to your rescue more than your wealth will. So always pay attention to your stock of knowledge and your earnings of good wishes rather than physical wealth. And it has been observed in case of calamities. So whenever the world has experienced calamities, then we have seen that no amount of wealth that they kept hoarded came to their rescue, but whatever good wishes and whatever stock of, the understanding or, powers and how to survive in difficult situations, these things came to the rescue. So Baba says, instead of depending on wealth for your security, depend on the stock of knowledge and powers and good wishes. So everything comes from knowledge. So when you practice knowledge, it translates into virtues and powers and good wishes. And Baba says that is your true wealth. And the fourth thing that Baba says is relationships. So relationships give you a sense of security and happiness. So Baba says, have all relationships with me. I am your everything. Now, every day in the Murli, Baba is making us practice these 4 things. Swasthiti, Manmana Bhav, and, taking, using Gyan Dhan to earn the subtle income which will stay with us. And then 4th is building a relationship with Baba. And Baba says, if you do all these 4 things, then you will move from a state of constant sorrow to constant happiness anyway. And then I will tell you another law about happiness today, which is happiness is the product of good karma. So happiness is the product of good karma. So if you engage your resources in creating good karma, then they give you happiness. And when you waste them or use them in a negative way, they will take away your happiness. Let me give you a very simple example for this. Now let's say you spend 100 rupees on something. Okay? Whatever it is, you spend 100 rupees on that, and then it gives you happiness. But then, if you just lost 5 rupees, you just put it somewhere and then you are not finding it, you will find that your mind is disturbed. It's not about the wealth, it is about the wastage. So whenever something is wasted, then it disturbs you. I'm giving you a very physical example. But this applies to everything. Whenever your resources go into negative account or wasteful account, then that takes away your happiness. Now, let's look at the wealth of time that we have. Now, whenever you are using your time, this is why Baba says, create a chart. See how your time is being spent. Is your time being spent in uplifting the spiritual energy or, contributing to the greater good? Or is your time being wasted or even being utilized to create a negative account of karma? So if you are using your time or your thoughts to create negative or wasteful energy, then you will not be able to stay happy. Or let's take a very simple example. You speak from the mouth, and then whatever comes out of the mouth, sometimes if it has caused sorrow, or you have commented on somebody, or you have talked in a way that somebody's time has got wasted, then that day you will not be able to meditate. Every time you sit to meditate, your thought will be pulled to that incident because your mouth was used in a negative or a wasteful manner. So Baba says you have the wealth of time, thought, energy, and or you have used your body to do some wasteful activity, then you will not be able to sit in meditation and concentrate that day. So Baba says this happiness is also a product of good karma, and the vice versa is also true. That is, if you engage in wasteful or negative karma, then it will rob you of your happiness. And Baba says, when does all this thing happen? When do you create bad karma? When are you not able to be manmanabhav, or when are you not able to be in swasthiti? When is all this happening? So Baba in the Murli today gives two reasons: impurity and body consciousness. So Baba says when you are body conscious, you are not able to engage in good karma, or you are not able to, stabilize yourself in your swasthiti. So Baba says, this is why Baba is teaching us to be soul conscious every day. Now let's look at body consciousness. When you're body conscious, Baba today in the Murli says something very interesting. Body conscious people cannot give happiness to anyone. Body conscious people cannot give happiness to anyone. Now let's understand this beautiful line. When you are body conscious, you are in material consciousness, and you tend to objectify everyone and everything. So when you're body conscious, you want other people's bodies to give you sensual pleasure. You want things to, give you happiness. You want everything around. You look at everything around as a source which is going to fulfill you. And when you look at everything as your lunch, then obviously you will not be able to take care of their feelings or their state. So when you objectify everything around and you look at it as a source which is meant to fulfill you, then obviously you cannot take care of their happiness. So in Hindi there is a very good saying, घोड़ा घास से दोस्ती करेगा तो खाएगा क्या? So you become the ghoda and everything becomes ghas when you are body conscious. So you want to exploit your job, you want to exploit the people around you, you want to exploit the bodies, you want to exploit everything. Exploit looks like a big word, but that is what we do. So everything becomes, we don't see people or things or places as, energy. We see everything as a resource. And when you see something as a resource, the last thing you do is care about them. You only care about yourself. And care about yourself also not because you don't understand that you're creating bad karma through this course of action. So Baba says, when you're body conscious, you cannot look at anyone or anything with genuine love and respect. You look at everything as your lunch. And when there is no genuine love and respect, there is no good karma. And there is no happiness for you or the other. The energy you radiate is a very, low energy. So have you ever felt that, so you understand how other people are looking at you. So when other people look at you as a resource, what do you get? Yes, other people look at you as a body, as a money giving machine and other stuff. So when other people are looking at you like that, so how do you feel about it? So you experience sorrow, right? When other people objectify you for what you give and what you are capable of, and they objectify you for that, then you feel sorrowful. So other people are capable of giving you sorrow when they are body conscious. So what are you giving when you are body conscious? You are also giving unhappiness or sorrow. And what will you get if you give sorrow? Yes. So do you know why people like to come to Baba? Because Baba looks at them with genuine love. It's not about Gyan. Gyan we understand much later. But you feel very alive, you feel like you matter, you feel worthy when you come to Baba. And Baba looks at you, not what you have or what you can do. Baba looks at you. And there's nobody else who looks at you because everybody is body conscious. So they look at what you have and what you can do. And Baba says that when you genuinely, become soul conscious and radiate that energy, then you are able to practice purity. Then you are not able to, then you're able to not look at another person as a source for sensual fulfillment. Then you're able to see the body as it is, just an instrument. Then you are able to go above greed. You understand that, it's not about just hoarding and accumulating. It's about sharing and caring. So Baba says, when you are soul conscious, you realize your virtues, you realize your fulfilled state, you realize that everyone and everything around is meant to be respected, and we are meant to cooperate rather than, see each other in a very parasitic fashion. So Baba says, when you look at everything like that, then you create a karmic account which gives other people happiness, and also by virtue of that good karma, it gives you happiness. So Baba is clarifying how you move from this body conscious approach to soul conscious and God conscious, and how that is related to swasthiti and manmana bhav, and it is related to it is related to gyan dhan and punya, and it is related to good karma. So all of these things when we do right now, then we will create an account which is the opposite of the account of sins that we have right now. We will have the account of charity or punya, and that will enable us to go to Satyug. Because just like you see, what is the sign of an account of Paap? Whatever you do in this world right now, you are not able to have external state of affairs which is okay. So even if you work too hard, you cannot have a good body right now, a body that will never fall ill. Or even if you work too hard, you cannot ensure relationships will be good all the time. So Baba says, just like, the sign of an account of Paap is that even if you invest a lot in it, you cannot ensure everything on the external stays fine. And what is Satyug? When there is external perfection. And how do you go to that? By having an account of punya. So when you have the opposite of what you have here, then you go to Satyug, where you don't have to invest in anything, not in health, not in peace, not in anything. You get everything that you need anyway. And how do you move from here to there? By changing the way you are approaching your life, and by creating an account of punya here. And it starts with soul consciousness. All right. Now there is a question. So is both the same soul world and peaceful world? Yes. So peaceful world is the soul world, but the land of happiness is different. That is, Satyug is different. Okay. So this is about the Murli today. And let me read out the blessing, or just explain the blessing a little. Baba has given us the direction to always remember that I am Mahan and Mehman. So what is Mahan and Mehman? Mahan means great and Mehman means a guest. So they rhyme in English also. So just like Mahan and Mehman rhyme, so there is great and guest. So Baba says, I am great and I am a guest. Always remember this. Now when you remember I am a great soul, then this one consciousness will uplift you from ordinary and wasteful thinking. So when you know you matter, you are a great soul, then your time, energy, wealth, everything matters. And then you pay attention to using it in a worthwhile way. You don't waste it, because you know that that matters and that has value. Now, a person who thinks I'm very ordinary has no respect for their time, energy, and wealth or thought. So you start respecting your resources when you know you are a great soul or a worthy soul. And then there is this thing about Mehman. So the beautiful thing about guests. So when you have a guest over, then they are able to see everything going on in your house in a very detached fashion. So let's take a scenario where you are visiting somebody, and then their child is misbehaving and they slap the child, and then you say, no, why did you slap him for such a small mistake? He will correct it, it's okay. So you have a lot of patience and a lot of detachment when you are a guest. Because you know you don't have to live with that child. So I will tell you one incident. There were two sisters and they had come to the center, and this one sister kept telling the other one about her child and how he misbehaves and how he throws tantrums and doesn't eat on time or sleep on time. And then the other one kept telling her, it's okay, you should be able to deal with it in a patient way, and you should have understanding and this and that. And then this other sister said, why don't you take him for some time? Keep him with you. Take him for a year, keep him with you, get him admitted in the school near to you, and then we will see how you handle. And I could see the look on her face. She got really frightened. Just the thought of keeping that child for a year literally frightened her. And then she said, no, it doesn't look nice. He has to stay with you. So now you see, when you are a mehman or you think that all of this is temporary, you have so much of sanity and detachment dealing with everything. And then Baba says, when you consider you are a guest here and you know that you are going to shift to your golden age very soon, and this is just a temporary phase, then you will be able to have that detachment and sanity in dealing with things here. So this is something that Baba says we should practice. And then there is the slogan which is very interesting. Baba says, with everyone's good wishes and their drops of cooperation, a big task becomes easy. So Baba says, the biggest task is world transformation. And again, you know, the big task involved in that bigger task is the running of centers and the yagya and everything. And Baba says, everybody needs to contribute. It could be very small according to you, but then with that drop of contribution, the task gets accomplished. And then Baba says, good wishes also are very important, because good wishes act as the fortifying force which wards off all the obstacles and the evil influences. So, you know, just like there is a lot of obstacles caused due to negative energy around, if we have a stock of good wishes, then it acts like a protection for this whole task to go on smoothly. I will tell you something about this. So, you know, when Gyan Sarovar was built, so Gyan Sarovar is a campus in Mount Abu, and Baba has 3 campuses in Mount Abu: Pandav Bhavan, Gyan Sarovar and Shantivan. And when Gyan Sarovar was being built, then Prakashmani Dadiji to put a bhandari or a box in every center, and she said, let every child contribute 1 rupee a day. Now you see, 1 rupee, that was of course some 20 years back, but then 1 rupee is a very small amount. And then everybody could contribute at least 1 rupee. And with that 1 rupee contribution every day of each child, Gyan Sarovar was built. So it is such a big task, but it happens through everybody's little contribution, which is like a drop in the ocean. So Baba says, just like there is a saying that drop by drop the ocean gets filled, similarly, small acts of good wishes and small acts of cooperation, they can ensure the accomplishment of big tasks. And this is why we children of Baba should always know that even if our contribution is very small, it matters. And we should always take out the time to send the good wishes for this big task of Baba to get accomplished, and also give our contribution, which is like a drop in the ocean. That is our sahyog or cooperation. Okay? Om Shanti.